If 700 horsepower from a hyper-luxury SUV still feels like not enough, Aston Martin has an answer: the 2026 DBX S. It sits above the DBX 707 and makes 717 horsepower from a Mercedes-Benz-built twin-turbo V8. Power isn't the only upgrade. Handling tweaks and clever software make this roughly 4,800-pound SUV feel surprisingly light in corners. Adjustable drive modes let you choose different blends of comfort and aggression. Inside, it's wrapped in premium leather with metal and carbon fiber trim fitting its high price while still keeping real SUV usefulness. You think 717 horsepower is the whole story? That's the trap. Because the DBX S isn't just the DBX 707 with more power, it's the version Aston quietly tuned to feel smaller, sharper, and way more aggressive than a 4,800-pound SUV has any right to be. And here's the wild part. On paper, it's barely quicker to 60, yet on the road, it can feel like a totally different animal. So what did Aston actually change? Steering, suspension, tech, and sound? And is it genius or overkill? Stay with me. As the new DBX flagship, the DBX S only adds about 20 horsepower over the DBX 707. Aston's 707 figure is based on metric measurements, which lands closer to about 697 horsepower by US standards. Full testing is still pending, but Aston claims 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.1 seconds. Early driving makes that sound believable, though it's not quicker than the 707. Where the S pulls ahead is higher up the speed range, with Aston saying it reaches 124 miles per hour, about 1 second faster than its smaller sibling. On tight, twisty roads, the DBX S impresses with a quicker steering ratio, electronically controlled anti-roll bars, variable all-wheel drive, and a multi-mode air suspension. The result is a big SUV that turns in sharply, stays flat, and feels eager through hairpins. And it doesn't forget practicality. There's room for multiple sets of golf clubs, and the air suspension can raise or lower the vehicle to make loading easier. So even with its performance focus, it still behaves like a usable, everyday luxury SUV. In the exotic SUV world, the DBX trades punches with heavy hitters like the Ferrari Purosangue and Lamborghini Urus SE, plus ultra-luxury options like the Bentley Bentayga and Rolls-Royce Cullinan. But the toughest rival might be a more sensible European threat, the Porsche Cayenne Turbo E-Hybrid. It makes more power, is only about 0.4 seconds slower to 60, can drive roughly 20 miles on battery, and may cost around $100,000 less. Choosing the DBX S versus the DBX 707 comes down to how much track-ready attitude you actually want. The DBX S can be comfortable, but its mission is speed and handling. Steering and throttle feel more intense, cornering is more aggressive, and the exhaust is louder and more dramatic. Amazing traits, but overkill for most daily family driving. The DBX 707 is still wildly fast, yet it feels calmer and less edgy. For most buyers, the DBX 707 makes more sense, unless you're truly committed to the most hardcore version.